this video, we will provide a walkthrough of the student online registration process. So let's start off by going to EPISD.org. Scroll towards the bottom and click the Enroll Now button. On the next page, select the Click to Register button. So our first step is to create an account, so click the Create an Online Registration Account button. So on the account creation screen, you'll need to enter the email address you'll be using for the registration for all students. For all years they will be attending EPISD. So make sure to use an email account that you will always have access to. So enter the email address twice to confirm, and then you'll need to come up with a password for the account, which will also be entered twice. In the personal information section, enter your legal first and last name. Phone number is optional. And then once the screen is complete, click the Create Account button. You'll receive a notice that the account was successfully created, and then your next step is to go to validate your email account. So I'm now in the Gmail account I'm using for the demonstration. The email subject is Guardian Email Verification. Now you must click the link provided to validate your email, and please note this link expires after 2 hours. Once validated, you can go back to the online registration login page and log in with your email and newly created password. Once logged in, our next step is to select the school year. So in this case, we see the upcoming 2019-2020 school year. So select that radio button and then click Save and Continue. This will take us to our main homepage for online registration. So let me point out the headers. In the top in the blue bar, you have online registration. If you click that, you have several options. You can go back to Home, you can go to Help, you can click Update Account, which would update your signed in as name or account name. Go to the Add a Student, Add a Contact, or the Attached Document sections. These are all main sections within the online registration. You can also use the Change Language button to toggle between English and Spanish. And then if you click Help, some basic information here. Your first resource for assistance is the Enrolling Campus. You can call or visit the campus for assistance. You can also email online registration at episd.org with questions or comments, or specifically if you have a boundary issue relating to your address. So let's go back to Home. So you'll notice there's color coordination here as well. Things in green mean they're good to go. So school year selection is complete. Now we need to go to Documents for all students and contacts. We have 7 documents here that are incomplete. They all need to be complete. So click the link to the right of each document. Read the content of that document. Check off the appropriate boxes. In this case, I need to just acknowledge and understand. And then click to save the document. That will change the status to completed. I need to repeat that process for the remaining documents. If we scroll down a little bit, the next section is the Students section. Have no students added at this point, so my first step is to click Add a Student. Now step 1 on this adding students, if you've ever had a child attend EPISD, choose option 1 first. Enter the student ID, enter their legal first name and last name, enter their date of birth, enter their social security number, and then you would click Look Up Student. This will compare the information that you entered on this screen to the team's database. If it matches, it will pull that student's information into your online registration account, along with any associated students and contacts. But since this is a training environment, I can't actually do a student lookup. So I'll click Cancel and go back. And this time we'll just add a brand new EPISD student. So back on this screen, I'll choose option 2, which is my child is new to the EPISD school system. So click that radio button. And then click the Create a New Student button. So on the basic information here, I need to enter the legal first name. Middle name is optional. The legal last name. So this needs to match as it displays on the birth certificate. In the generation drop down, I can choose junior, senior, second, third, etc. Next field would be the date of birth, so enter the correct student's date of birth. Choose the appropriate gender. Defaults to yes, this student has a Social Security number, so you'd enter that here. If they don't have a Social Security number, you'd go back to that section, uncheck the box. A little bit further down, we need to complete the ethnicity and race fields. Under miscellaneous information, how many years has the student been in the U.S.? Choose the appropriate number of years. And then the field after that, when were they first enrolled in the U.S.? When were they enrolled in pre-K, kinder? Put the appropriate date there. Once this screen is complete, then you can create new student by clicking the button. Now we're in the student's main page. You can see in green, student was successfully created. Items in yellow require some sort of action, and then in red, we can't proceed until we take care of some other item. But we can go ahead and set the enrollment grade, so click the link in that section. This takes us to the grade selection screen. From the drop-down, choose the appropriate grade that they will be going into. So in this case, I'm going to choose 4th grade. Check the acknowledgement box and then click the Set Enrollment Grade button. So now that section is in green. But notice I cannot select a campus because I don't have a contact linked to the student that has a valid address. So we need to go take care of our contacts next. So let's return to home. And we'll go to the contacts section. Scroll down a little bit and you'll see parents and contacts. Now, the first parent is already listed there because they created the account. You notice signed in as Tom Jones in this case. So simply click View Contact for the first contact. And then we need to fill in the missing information. So if you go towards the top right, click the orange Edit Contact button. We need to add an address. So if we click that link, we can choose the type, in this case home address. Start typing in the address, and once you see it in the drop down, go ahead and just click it to fill in all the fields. Continuing on, we need to add a phone. So in this case, we'll choose a cell phone number. We need to enter this with the area code. Check off the box if this phone can receive text messages. Then we can add an email, but the primary email will already be there that we are using for the account. Once done, click Update Contact. So now we can return back to home. And then we can add a second contact, third contact, and so on. So in this case, I'm going to add another parent by entering the legal first name, last name, and then click Next. Same as before, we'll click off appropriate fields. For example, if this person was active duty, there's a box there. Let's add an address. Same step as before, type in the address, look for it in the drop down. Once done there, click Next. The phone field will open up so we can choose a type of phone and enter a phone number there as well. Click Next. This is a brand new contact. We can add an email address as well, and then create new contact once done. Now we can go back to our student that we have. Since our contacts have been added, click View Student. So now we can go to the Parents and Contacts section. So click on Link Contact. From the contact list, choose the first contact. The next field, define the relationship. And then there are 3 options. Option 1, this contact can pick up the student. Option 2, the student lives with this contact. And then option 3, this contact is an emergency contact for the student. Check off the appropriate boxes, but please note that each student must be linked to a contact that is an emergency contact and also at least one that is a lives with. Once done, click Link Contact a Student. Now you'll notice that we're in the yellow. We can select a school to enroll in. But let's finish linking our other contact to our student. So go back to the Link Contact button. From the drop-down, choose the other remaining contact from the list. Define the relationship in the next field. This will be the other parent. Check off the appropriate options. Once done, click Link Contact a Student. So now you'll notice under Parents and Contacts, both contacts, in this case both parents, are linked to the student. Once you've linked all the contacts that you wish to a given student, you can go ahead and proceed to select a school by clicking the button. This takes us into the campus selection screen. Based on the address and the grade level selected, the schools will display that are available. So in this case, Moreno Elementary School and PK Community Partnership. So I'm going to select the elementary school, check off the acknowledgement box towards the bottom of the screen, and then click the Choose School button. Lastly, we have the documents that need to be completed for the student. So click View and Edit on the first document. Within the document itself, each will be a little bit different. You'll check off different boxes or check off different radio buttons depending on how you answer the questions. And depending on what you click, that may open up other sections. Like on this example here, I'd need to explain circumstances within the text box. But let me go back and choose the first radio button. In this case, I just need to type in my legal name as signature. The date is already there. And then if I scroll back down, I can click Save. Now when we go back to the document section for the student, document number 1 is complete. It's done, it's in the green. I need to repeat this process for all the remaining documents that are required. They all need to be in completed status as well. So if we return to home, I'm going to jump forward in time a little bit. I'm going to complete the remaining documents for all students and contacts. Okay, those are complete and done. So now if I scroll back down a little bit, I can go back into View Student. My student's in the green, which means they are ready to be submitted because all sections are complete. So if I go back towards the top a little bit, you'll see there is a Begin Student Submission button that now appears. So I need to click that button because I need to finalize my submission. So basically the first section here is just some alerts. This process only completes a single student. You need to do this for all students being registered. Once you submit, you cannot make any changes. And then please make sure you filled out all documents correctly. So once that looks good, check off the acknowledgement box and then click the I agree submit student. We then receive a notification that the student has been submitted. So if we return to home, we go to the student section, we'll see that the student has a submitted status. Now I'd need to repeat this exact process for any additional students that are brand new to EPISD as well. Now if we go to the last section towards the bottom, it's where you can attach documents. So click the link to attach document. And then from the first drop down, select the type. And then click Choose File to find the electronic file on your computer that you wish to attach. Now please note the file types must be PDF, JPEG, BMP, PNG, a TIFF, a doc, a docx, PowerPoint, or PowerPoint X. Typical file types. But let's cancel and go back. This completes the process once all students are finalized, and this concludes our video walkthrough. But keep in mind that this was a basic walkthrough and does not cover all the scenarios an enrolling parent or guardian may need assistance with. So remember, if you have any issues with the process, contact the enrolling campus for assistance, and thank you for watching.